Clyde's body is borne to the grave. Again, tragedy and shame descend upon his aged father and mother. At another funeral home in Dallas, 3 miles across the city from where Clyde's body lay, lies the body of Bonnie Parker, and here the crowd is even greater. As far as is recorded, Bonnie Parker was the worst woman bandit since the days of Belle Straw. She is the only woman ever to be shot down by officers of the law in attempted capture.
Guys, imagine coming up this hill behind me and you're trying to drive casually. It's a normal day and you have your girlfriend with you and you have some food, a nice sandwich, and you stop to help somebody and all of a sudden you get shot. We're in Gibsland, Louisiana this time, and we're at a really special place, and we have a really special investigator with us, our guest investigator of the night. And I'm going to walk over to him right now. We're going to talk to Bonnie and Clyde tonight. This is where they got killed. This road is where they drove up, and we're going to go to their museum, and we're going to try and make contact with them. And Mr. Bill Thompson is here with me. How you doing, Mr. Bill?
I'm good. How are you doing, Mark?
I'm doing really good. Tell me a little bit about this place. What is this place?
Well, the reason these monuments are here is for safety.
Okay.
Because it's on the crest of the hill and stuff.
Okay.
But they were actually killed right about the top of that hill there.
So it was a setup.
It was. Henry Methven was a member of the Barrow gang, and
Barrow, Clyde and Clyde.
Clyde.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And his father, Ivan, the feds kind of put the squeeze on him and made a deal with him. You help us get Bonnie and Clyde and we'll drop all the charges. And Ivan pulled his truck at an angle and they took a tire off, and as soon as Clyde started up this hill, he recognized the truck.
Yeah. And
he started stopping, seen who it was, and he told him, I'm having truck trouble, you know. Clyde says, okay, give me a second. And he was going to kind of pull around him in the ditch. And when he did, the lawman was somewhere up there on where that ridge is. And they yelled at him. Clyde and Bonnie never got to shoot back. And of course, they were dead within the first couple of shots.
Sure.
Because they were headshots.
Sure.
And it being a standard vehicle, his foot come off the clutch and the vehicle lunged forward, and they thought he was trying to get away. Otherwise, all the shots would be on the driver's side, but they come running out and were shooting in the back and on some on the passenger side because they thought he was getting away, but his car was just rolling in the ditch.
I've heard a couple of different stories. Can you tell me how many shots were fired into that car? I've heard it was somewhere around 160.
116.
Okay, 16. Okay.
16, yeah.
Okay, that's a lot.
And that's a lot.
You said the lawmen were in the woods over there,
yeah,
behind Morgan. Can you show me where that's at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to go over there?
Yeah, let's go over there.
All right.
Hey, Bill, I noticed you got a pistol.
Yeah.
You carry that often?
Often. And we really need it here because, you know, there's probably some sneaky snakes up there.
You're not going to shoot me, are you, Bill?
Oh, no. No. You're good.
Okay.
Where's yours at, by the way?
Well, Bill, I don't have mine on me.
And is there a reason you don't?
All right, guys, so I'm here with Mr. Perry, and he's the gentleman that owns the museum. Mr. Perry, it's good to meet you. Thank you for having us and letting us come in here and
Y'all are welcome.
explore it.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about Bonnie and Clyde.
Well, Bonnie and Clyde came through this area about 2 months before they were killed. And they liked it here. They weren't wanted for nothing in Louisiana. And they stayed in Bienville Parish. And a couple other places they would camp out in the woods. They didn't have a hideout house here like people said. They did stay in a house the night before they were killed, but that wasn't really their hideout. She couldn't walk. You know, a lot of people don't realize the severity of her wounds.
Wow.
But she was in bad shape. You know, and he wasn't in much better shape, but he didn't do morphine or nothing to hide his pain, and she was addicted to morphine.
Yeah.
You know, he kept her doped up as much as possible. There wasn't a lot of love making going on, or it was more like comforting.
Her wounds, like what her wounds are, and
Her wounds?
yeah.
Well, she was burned up in a car wreck. Her right leg needed to be amputated. You could see her bone. 2 months after the car wreck, they shot her in the stomach in Dexter, Iowa. Then her and Clyde were both shot through both legs in Sowers, Texas. They tried to ambush him, and then they killed her. But she also didn't die with her wedding ring on. That's another legend. That wedding ring, it did have a diamond in it, but her mother had it. You know, Bonnie didn't have it. She didn't wear the ring.
I know, I didn't.
You know.
I wasn't aware of that.
Well,
This was the wedding ring from her
first marriage.
The first marriage? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. People always want to say she married an outlaw, and she did not. She got married a week before her 16th birthday. God forbid anybody hold anything I did when I was 15 years old against me. You know, and he was out of her life within months. You know, he beat her up. He would disappear, and she was an old high school beau.
Yeah.
But then, you know, she finally told him, "Stay away. I don't want you no more. You know, just leave." And then he ended up going to prison.
Yeah.
So she didn't have the money to divorce him.
And so how many lawmen were in these woods?
There were 6.
6 lawmen were in the woods?
Right.
And they opened fire?
Yes. Like I said, Prince Oakley with Bienville Parish, he started it. And then they all started.
Yeah.
And like I said, Clyde's foot slipped off and the car started rolling, and that's when they come running out and were shooting around it. If you look at the pictures of the death car, there's one that you see a package of Lucky Strike cigarettes, and you'll see something white beside it. That's Clyde's sandwich.
That's his sandwich.
His sandwich, his fried bologna sandwich that he got there at the Canfield Cafe and never got to take a bite out of it. Bonnie was eating hers when she was shot.
Wow.
She had a BLT.
Well, right around the corner here, there's another car, and it looks a little bit more...
For 55 years, that car was taken around the world and shown as the real car. It's been to France. It's been to England. It did all of the state fairs here in this country. It did get busted in Dallas. The guy was so cocky, he said, "I'll give anybody $10,000 they prove it ain't the real car." And the Barrows showed up with a news crew.
So this is actually not the real car?
It's not the real car. If you open the trunk up on the back of the car, it's exactly like the car they died in.
Okay.
It's a different color now. It's a Cordova gray. That's the real car. This is a desert sand gray. But when Boots Hinton was about 9 years old, they saw this at a state fair. And his daddy, Ted Hinton, who was in the posse, he told him, he said, "Son, go mark that car so we know it's a fake. And if you open up the trunk of the car, inside the door, you will see it scratched in, Ted Hinton, Bob Alcorn."
Wow.
He wrote that when he was 10 years old in the trunk of that car. Bonnie and Clyde are the reason why life insurance policies are wrote the way they are today. Each life insurance policy has a clause in it, a Bonnie and Clyde clause. It says if you're even wanted for a crime, we won't pay off. She was 4'10", 4'11". People want to argue the point, what's an inch. She weighed about 85 pounds. She wore a size 3 shoe. She did not like guns. She never robbed nobody. She never killed nobody. Nobody.
Imagine sitting here for 3 days waiting for someone to come who might not even come this way. You're not even 100% sure. but you're expecting them to. 3 days these lawmen waited right here in these woods and didn't move. They just waited. How hard would that be? Could you do it? Could you concentrate that long on one subject? Tonight we're going to try and make contact with these guys as well.
What are we doing?
We're just finishing that out.
Where do we leave off at?
I'll start it.
Okay.
We're going to have a great blooper reel. Okay, Bill. Oh. All right, Bill, so I think from here we're going to go to the museum, yeah?
Right.
Okay.
We're gonna do the museum.
And you're going to introduce me to Mr. Perry?
Perry Carver,
Okay.
who owns it.
Okay.
And also we're going to take a little trip to Arcadia, where the funeral home was.
Okay.
When the bodies left here, they were still in the car.
Okay.
They had a tow truck come get it and carry it to Arcadia. And it's funny because they talk about there was an autopsy done, but the bodies were embalmed at Arcadia. And they took the bodies to Shreveport for the autopsy.
Yeah.
And basically all they did was count the bullet hole. And that's it.
Well.
Because like I said, later on tonight, I've got something that I want you to ask Bonnie.
Okay.
And see what response you get.
Okay.
Every time we ask her or we bring somebody and we always get the same answer.
Okay.
And then I'll tell you more about the lawmen on that deal.
Okay.
But right up here is where, and we've gotten, last time we had a group here on the spirit box, I made contact with Frank Hammer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, and we've only done this a couple of times because it's new to us. We found it basically by accident.
Sure.
We were looking further down, and but it, right here.
It was right here.
Yeah.
Well, tonight I've got with me Morgan and Brandy brought along Mr. Stephen, and then you and your son Alex are going to be with us guest investigating tonight. That sounds good. Let's move on down the road.
Okay, let's go.
I'm going to follow you.
Okay.
You got the gun.
All right.
Yep.
And cut.
And see.
We began the night by allowing Bill to show us his favorite way to communicate, using dowsing rods. We introduced ourselves, and then we began the session.
With Brandy.
Brady. Hi, I'm Brady.
Marcus.
Bill. Alex.
Morgan.
Stephen. See yours light up? Right. Me and Alex have been here 1,000 times. You know who we are. What? Yeah, we're gonna hunt. Of course, I always go old school with my dowsing rod. So you're gonna ask yes and no questions with the dowsing rod. Boots, I think we just talked to you a little bit ago. Are you in here? You can cross some rods, so. All right, thank you. And we can uncross them? You can do it. All right. Thank you. Bonnie, are you here with us tonight? You can cross. I know it's been a while since I've been here. Thank you. The competition tour. Are you here? Look at him laughing.
While it seemed we were getting answers with the dowsing rods, our session came to an end, and we were able to hear more history on the building that the museum is in itself.
Well, this was a cafe. This Canfield had a little apartment
she stayed, she lived here in the restaurant, the cafe. And Clyde in the door, when the garage door, there was a door there, and that's where they would come sometimes and get their sandwiches. And there was a black lady that cooked here. And when they got the news about Bonnie and Clyde, they were, her and Miss Canfield were just devastated. I mean, they were crying hysterically because, you know, they were always so nice.
Trying to elicit a response, we had only males ask questions using Alex's ghost portal, and we appeared to get some answers.
Can we talk to Bonnie?
No.
Right?
Go away. Clyde, why are you being like that tonight?
And whenever I request a temperature change in the room, I appear to get a specific response from a female voice. This other device right here is called a mel meter. It tells me the temperature of the room right now is 83.5 degrees. It's been like that the whole time we've been here. It hasn't changed.
Really?
Can you change it? Can you cool it off a little bit? Sure is hot in here.
Get it on.
Or can you make it hotter?
Thanks.
I think it said thanks.
Listen again and let us know what you think. Or can you make it hotter? Receiving no further answers, I remove the men and I bring in my team of Morgan and Brandy, and we ask some hard questions.
Didn't you have, like, other girlfriends? Your ladies man, maybe on the side?
That's what I thought I heard.
Did you have other girlfriends, Clyde? Other than mine?
How many? Come on, Clyde. You were playing.
What, Bonnie, did you know about it?
Are you shushing us?
I felt like he was like really bad.
Yeah,
She
he's
was
like-
like, Clyde. Yeah. With girlfriends.
While the camera did not pick up all of the audio we heard, the digital recorder that was on the floor captured more.
Didn't you have, like, other girlfriends? Ladies man, maybe on the side?
That's what I thought I heard. Shh.
Did you have other girlfriends, Clyde? Other than Bonnie?
How many? Come on, Clyde. You was a
Tell
player.
us, come on.
At the end of
Oh,
this
Bonnie, did
session,
you know about
while
it?
we are talking, you can see us react to a loud shushing sound we heard from the back of the room. Are you shushing us? I wanted to make sure that we were still alone, so I go to check, and everyone is still waiting outside as we had asked.
Really bad.
Yeah,
And she
it's
was like, Clyde. Yeah. With girlfriends. What was that?
I don't know. I heard it.
It was a big shh.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, was that you over there in the corner?
After we completed our investigation of the museum, we moved outside 7 miles down the road to the kill spot, where we continued to get further evidence.
You're stuck here? You're stuck here?
Right.
You pray?
And those answers were confirmed again a short moment later.
Did you say you pray? Yes? Always? Are you still praying now?
And knowing that Bonnie's final wish was to be buried alongside Clyde, Bill was able to give them some news that they seemed to appreciate.
Bonnie, you know Ray Lynn is working hard trying to get you moved beside Clyde. I want you to know that. But I know that was your wish, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, both male and female said yes.
The spirit of the outlaw is one that intrigues my mind. Bonnie and Clyde's love for each other is one that lives on after death in the stories that are told about their life. Louisiana is a special place, so much so that Bonnie and Clyde decided to stay here, even in their afterlife. We didn't find as much evidence as we were hoping, but what we did find was camaraderie, a desire to help each other, and a friendship that will undoubtedly last for years. That is, in my opinion, the spirit of the outlaw. Maybe we all have a little Bonnie and Clyde in each of us.
But they're trying to wash us away.